See if I can figure this out.
Here we
Here we
go.
go.
Let's
Let's
do
do this.
this. Let's let's go. I think this is gonna work. I hope it'll work. If it doesn't work, I can always wish that it did. Hi. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Here's where we're at. It is Tuesday the 16th, and yesterday Spring Pulsar 1.0.2 came out. And how are you doing? How are you doing? It has been a while. It's been like a week. I've been gone. That music, though, I know that's custom music. It kind of like sets the tone. Hello, Dan. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate you being here. I am just getting back from a nice little holiday over in the mountains, doing some snowboarding, and it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. So here we are. I have some meetings and stuff going on. So let's figure out what's going to happen here. My calendar's a little funky. So just bear with me. Bear with me. We'll see if we can figure this out. Let's do this. This makes sense. Let's do this. Let's save that off. I think that was like last Monday. Sounds about right. Right? Yeah, that was last Monday. Let's save that. And let's reset. Let's get a new one going. And let's say hi. Here we go. Sitting at the airport, about to return from your vacation. That's awesome. I feel pretty lucky to be hanging out with you while you're traveling. So awesome. Dan's in a meeting, and DMOC, welcome back. It's so wonderful to see you guys. I enjoyed my vacation, but I'm excited to be back. I was really excited about all the people. I didn't really like say, "Hey, I'm on a vacation." I didn't put any notes up, so I had some people shout out and be like, "Hey, is everything okay? I haven't seen you do your morning stream in a while." And I was like, "Oh, thank you for noticing. I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for noticing me." I am going to do a quick little check here. Let's see if I have to. I might need to pause and do this other thing. So I'm checking. I'm checking. I got to make sure I look at this. I was able to reduce the timeout in Spring Config Server, and I did not yet get an invite on my other account, Dan. I got one, my work email, but I did not get one from my personal email. I did not get one. So maybe you could share that one more time, and we'll get caught up. And we will get caught up. Here's what we're gonna do. I have not taken this project for a spin. I think I got my head wrapped around it, but we're gonna go with Spring Pulsar since it just got released. Let's do this. Let's go check out what's going on, and let's jump into the documentation. All right, so we got some docs. We're on the latest snapshot docs. I think I want to go to the latest version docs. All right, that might be an issue. Search. Wait, why does that say current? It should be 1.0.2, right? Let's do this. Go to learn. See, I want this reference doc. There. Okay. All right, there we are. Let's keep on going. We're going to do a start.spring.io. We're going to use Maven. We use the latest release. Yeah, let's put this in com, Java, grunt, net service. Yeah, I'm just going to call it Pulsar. do that. That works. Java 21. Let's add Pulsar. Let's add test containers so that we get an environment. Let's add actuator. What else should we add? Prometheus. And Zipkin. And what else? I think that's it for now. Oh yeah, GraalVM. Can't forget the GraalVM support. What else? DevTools is a good idea. I think that's all that I need for the moment. Let's call it good with that. Let's call it good with that. And then let's generate it. Pulsar. And let's take it for a spin. Let's see what we got. Let's do all this in the open. Okay, stuff. Oh, sweet. Please hold. I am pinging. Gotta do all this stuff. All right. We're here. Let's unzip that thing that we just made. There we go. And let's see what we got. We've got a start. Let it do its thing. Actually, let me do this. Let me do this one thing where I say Java version, which Java version we're using. 2101. That sounds good. Let's do this SDK env init. So now I have SDK man RC. Perfect. Now I'm using that version. And let's go back here. Don't call it a comeback. We're here. I took some time off, and now this is like, this is fun, right? This show, this stream. Here's what I'm thinking. I have a little. I'll start to like be a little bit more organized. I'll start to be a little bit more organized, and I even have some like notes, like, hey, how should this? What's this show look like? Oh, I always got to make sure that I say hi to mom and dad, because mom and dad are watching. I know I have all the confidence in the world that no matter what I do, no matter what show I'm doing or what kind of content, mom and dad are always watching. So hello, mom and dad. I've been gone. I went on vacation for a week, so there's not a whole lot of like top of mind. It's just I just want to get back and get back to like doing fun stuff and being in production as much as possible. So I don't have anything like interesting top of mind stuff that is top of mind. Yeah, I don't have anything. But yeah, what are we gonna do today? We're gonna do Spring Pulsar. 1.0.2 got released yesterday. Where did I put it? Yeah, yesterday. So now we're going to use it. Of course we're going to use it. This is a project I have not used. I think I understand it. I understand what it might be used for. I understand, again, because it's Spring Boot, I'll understand some of the conventions around how it's going to be set up. But we just went and created a project, and we stood it up. And now let's just take a look. The nice thing that I expect here is this. So I'm going to go ahead and do some of my conventions, some of the things that I always do. And I have my little initializer plus, my little CLI tool that I use. And I really need to get this functionality back into the Spring CLI. But for now, this will do. Let's just go in here and say, I want to change the project description. the project name, project version. I want to add my extensions. Add a README. What else? Oh, the multi-arch builder. And we could probably do the manifests, even though those are going to need some attention. What else? I can hit help to see what else. We did the README, we did the description version. I'm not going to do Spring REST docs at the moment. I did the name. I did the builder. I did the manifest, and I did the extensions. I don't need to do a hello world function bean. And I don't need to expose all of the management endpoints yet. So here, get status. Oh, I didn't do a get init. So here we go. We have some stuff. And I think I can add all of this. Initializer plus done. All right. So we got some stuff in place. Oh, I also have a couple morning. Good morning, Robotech. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Excuse me. Glad that you're here. I appreciate you so much. We are cruising. We are going to build some stuff. I'm just going through those conventions. I like to rename things. I haven't really shown out why at the moment, but it's just one of those things. It's selectable. Refactor, rename that. And then test. I'm just going to refactor, rename that one test application. By having consistency across all my applications, I can do some interesting things later. So now, in my test application, because I am using test containers, I selected Zipkin. I also selected Pulsar. I'm going to get a Pulsar container. So now I can just run this class. It's not doing anything, but I'm going to pull down the images that I need to run. So we're going to be in good shape here. Let those images pull down. Make sure that I've got a working environment. We're in good shape. All right. It's up and running. Okay, and we ran into an issue. It says, cannot resolve, cannot access class, inet address cache. Because module java.base does not export. This feels like a Java version issue, which is unexpected for sure. Library load server is running. Here, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna run it again. Now we have all of our images pulled down. Let's see what is happening. And excuse me for just a moment. I need to grab a tissue. Please hold. All right, we're back. Ducktake DevOps, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are trying to jump forward into Spring Pulsar. And I am running into an issue on the address cache policy. Let's go back and see if we can figure out which Java we're using here. 2101. But this is just right out of the gate. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Fomka. Welcome. What is Pulsar? Good question. Let's jump in. Overview. We don't want to look at that one. We want to look at this one. So when again, I haven't used this. Pulsar is messaging. So I put it in kind of the same bucket as RabbitMQ, but I feel like it's got like a crossover between RabbitMQ and Kafka, some of the streaming stuff. So we're gonna go find out. But messaging, think of its messaging backend. High level, yeah, PubSub. Let's go to the Apache Pulsar. Apache Pul. Hello. I've been on vacation so much that my typing is bad. Let's see what they say. Cloud native distributed messaging and streaming. Messaging and streaming, right? So open source distributed messaging and streaming platform built for the cloud. Concepts. Multi-tenant, high-performance solution for server-to-server messaging, originally developed by Yahoo. Pulsar is under the stewardship of the ASF. Native support for multiple clusters in a Pulsar instance with seamless geo-replication of messages. That's always nice. Very low publish and latency. Seamless scalability to over 1 million topics. A simple client API with bindings for Java, Go, Python, C++. Multiple subscription types, exclusive, shared, and failover. Guaranteed message delivery with persistent message storage. A serverless connector framework, Pulsar IO, which is built for Pulsar functions. Makes it easier to move data in and out of Apache Pulsar. Tiered storage. Offloads data from hot, warm storage to cold, long-term storage, such as S3 and GCS. Ooh, that's pretty slick. That right? Because there's lots of ways. This tiered storage concept. Let's jump right to that. Like tiered storage. Like I have. Right, this is hot. Right. Then there's kind of like another warm. Like. And usually this is the biggest one, right? In the meantime, so this idea, the data that's affecting prod right now, I want to have access to that. So when I talk about logs, metrics, traces, right? This idea, you can take that same idea and say, hey, like how much of your logs, right? How much of your metrics, how much of that stuff do you want to keep access to? If we're going to take this thing to production, how much of this information do we want to have access to? And like, hey, like once you don't need it, then you kind of roll it off. And what Pulsar is saying here is like, we kind of do that tiered storage for you. So you can put things off to S3 or GCS or maybe even the ICE, right? Tape drive somewhere. So that's pretty cool. So let's take a look. Hopefully that makes sense, but you can follow along. We're having fun. I've not used it. We're just going to dig in and see how it goes. So we have this up and running. So the first thing is I need to figure out what's happening here. And when I see the DNS issue, so waiting for 30 seconds for this URL. Illegal access exception. Cannot access this because the module Java base does not export sun.net to unnamed module. I am not. So sometimes when there's a DNS issue, it might be that I'm causing my own problems. So what I did was turn off Tailscale. We'll see if we can run that again. This is what I expect. I expect to be able to come right out of start.spring.io with test containers enabled and have a working backend. All right. Oh, no. So that did not fix it. Okay. Let's do this. We're here. Is there anything else? That I expect? There's not. So let's go read. When all else fails, read the documentation. Is there a introduction project status? Okay, I'm just going to try to read fast. Version 2 code and functionality is production ready, but decision has not been made to support the project permanently. Okay. So here we are, version 1. This is full GA. Components are split as follows in progress. The core stays in Spring Pulsar. Autoconfig moves to Spring Boot. The binder moves to Spring Cloud Stream. Be aware that as autoconfigure moves to Spring Boot, the dependency coordinates for the starter modules also change as follows. Okay. All right. Java 17 up to and including Java 20. So maybe let's do this. Let's change to. So and that's interesting, right? It's interesting that it's Java 20. This is the first time because I'm seeing that it came out yesterday. So I'm assuming that the docs are updated. But let's try to switch to Java 17 and see what happens. It'd break my heart a little bit. I don't have Java 20 installed. Let's see. Let's see if we can do Java 20. We're playing around, right? SDK list Java. And let's find a Java 20. Liberica does not have a Java 20. There's not Java 20s out there, right? Once Java 21 came along, there's no Java 20s. All right, so let's go to 17. Let's do that again. We'll go to Liberica 17.0.9. And let's change this. I'm hoping that this is wrong, and then this should be including Java 21, but we'll find out together. But we're going to use Java 17 for now. We're going to try this. And we'll pull that back in. Say, hey, Java 17. Let's go to the project settings. And let's change it to Java 17. Oh. Nope. Let's try that again. SDK down here. SDK install. That one. And let's go back to our project again and say, hey, let's use that one. Let's use that 17. Why doesn't it see it? Here it is. And let's try it again. What could possibly go wrong? Still indexing. It'll take a minute. How are you doing? How's everything going? What are you working on? Jonas, what are you working on? Famka, Duct Tape, DevOps. I have been watching your show, and you are definitely encouraging me to do some more with these bots. I might have to spend a couple of streams and build a bot so we can do some interesting things. Yeah, with the stream. Also, Security Lives. Amazing text-to-speech stuff. There's a couple of to-dos, right? Here's some of the things I'd like to be able to do. First of all, like we have this like chat that happens. And right now that chat happens from lots of places, right? We're on Twitch, we're on YouTube. Don't forget we're on Kick, which I should be like, hey, let's go make sure that I'm saying hello. Tukes, hello, hello. As you know, I was struggling to choose between two career paths, native or Java backend. And after watching you and other Twitch Java streamers, I'm happy to say I am all in. All in. Java Spring Boot path. Let's go. Let's go. That's fun stuff. Tukes. That's fun stuff. Like let's jump in, and like we can still do front end stuff. You know, I'm wearing my Vaadin shirt today. Like Vaadin makes front end fun because I can use Spring. I can use Java. Duct Tape DevOps says we got our emoji pipeline working to turn profile pictures on Twitch into emojis. Ooh, that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. I just got to do more. Oh, Dan bought a Raspberry Pi for my son. And how am I doing it for Kubernetes class? Just one. You only need one. You only need one Raspberry Pi to do Kubernetes. Money is saved and in turn made on the back end. Let's go. Let's go. That's cool. So we're doing this. I think I have... I want to make sure that I'm not, double dipping. But we're over here. And all of these things come in. So one of the cool things is like, there's a transcript, right? And we've talked about this. When we're done with a stream, that's cool. This is what I'm pulling today, is I pull that transcript. But what Security Live has done is he has taken all of like your chat messages and he's injecting those kind of chat messages into like the conversation. So right now, when I go back and look, if I have my transcription service, I can go back and I can search through that and I can figure out, hey, what was talked about? But there's a lot of context that's missed if the transcription is only using the things that I say. If I'm not repeating all of the conversation that's happening, then yeah, it's hard. Plus, it's hard to understand like who said what. if I do it this way, this is just thinking out loud. If we can do what Security Live is doing, we can take all of those chat conversations, right? So Duct Tape DevOps, as he chats like this from Twitch, I could have that same conversation being included verbatim. So I could have the context. I could see where those conversations are happening. And that's pretty slick, right? Yes. Shout out Security Live. Let's do that. Twitch.tv. Thanks for reminding me to do that. I got to get better at this. All of the, oops, I got a little loop there. / shout out security. It's security _ live, right? Boom. Whoops. I wasn't logged in. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, come on. I gotta log in. Gotta log in order to do those kind of things. And then I'll have to do my 2-factor thing. And remember this token. Now, I've got 2 factors on different devices, so I don't know which device this one is on. It's not on that one. Please continue to hold while I try to figure out how to be a good Twitch streamer and follow that etiquette of doing shoutouts. Because I'm giving all sorts of hollers about Security Live and all this amazing content. So amazing that yesterday, as we were driving from the mountains back home, me and my son, we turned on Security Live's show and we were watching his show while we were driving or listening to it. Shout out Security Live. There we go. Did it. Thank you. So, it's not sure where StreamYard limits you, but rating out on Twitch is a great way to network. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. So we're talking. This would be a nice thing to get to. And Spring Pulsar as the backend might be a nice way of pulling some of these messages together so that we can have something closer to what Security Live is doing. The key is, no, you did not miss an Alphas Hours yesterday. I have been on vacation, and yesterday was a holiday, so we didn't do a Spring Office Hours yesterday. So Duct Tape DevOps says that's awesome. When I got off, he was working on a Selenium pipeline to replace emotes automatically for our pipeline. Ooh, nice. Yeah, like there's a lot of things to consider when you're doing this. But I like that idea of being able to go back. So we've got this pipeline. My pipeline is like, I want to be able to go back and look at the conversation, but I've been just looking at the transcription. I haven't been taking into consideration what's happening on the chat to find out like, hey, what was the coolest part? What was the part of the stream that had the most engagement, the most people chatting? Because eventually we're going to do that, summary. And wouldn't a summary mean more if you had the rest of the context in it, right? So like Dan's questions about Spring Cloud config, right? It would be nice to like, hey, it was asked here and in this show, if you've got questions about Spring Cloud config, we talked about it here. So we can have that searchability and the bigger context around those things if we're going to do some fun stuff with AI and let that help us. So we're starting here. We're starting with Spring Pulsar. We changed our version. Let's see if we can run it now. We changed our JDK. So we saw at the top, now it's using 1709. We've seen this before. Yeah, sentiment analysis, right? Another good one, right? Be able to find the answers in the videos. Having all that would be nice. So we're still running into the same problem, and I don't have any clue as to what the problem is. So let's do what any normal developer would do. We go to Stack Overflow, right? Nothing. No, I didn't say anything about TTL. I didn't say anything about TTL. So if you want to follow along, I got a bandwidth usage alert for my ISP. I may need an Nginx RTMP on a VPS for simulcasting. Maybe. So I use StreamYard for simulcasting. But I've also used the Restreamer in the past. But I don't think I was anywhere near where I needed or I got an alert. I can only stream for a few hours a day, but that's interesting. But that's why I use StreamYard. So I'm streaming to 5 different channels: LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. I added Instagram, but Instagram, I guess you can only stream for 1 hour. So I was like, I like to do it for 2 hours. So I'm not doing that. But yeah, so far so good. But let me know what you come up with. I'm always interested to hear that kind of stuff. While I chase down this issue. I don't think that's it. I don't think it's anything to do with the TTL. But I don't have anything. Oh, it does say cannot get DNS TTL settings. Oh, so that is exactly the error that we're looking at. Okay, instead I saw this. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, I'm also on M1. This was solved by downgrading to Pulsar 2.10.4 and Java version 11 due to Netty issues. What? That doesn't sound like a good solution. Face the same issue in here, here, and here. Downgrading helped. I don't want to hear about downgrading. The exact failing point is above Pulsar reflection usage, not about Netty, but other place may be. Could you share the error? Add opens this. Well, I get it wrong. Then you mean downgraded Java 11 and it helps. Relying on script put. So if you guys are seeing any good solutions here, so right here I just see DMOX. Hey, maybe use Kafka instead. That's one choice, but here's the thing. This is what I'm doing. I want to understand how to use this. Right? I've not used Spring Pulsar. These are the same kind of problems that a lot of people are going to have. Right? If this is all I've done, I went to start.spring.io. I created a project, and my expectation is it should start and run. I've got these, yeah, expectations. I've got all of this stuff that I get out of the box, and this is something that I should be able to do. So, what do you do when things don't work the way you expect? Uh, a lot of times I do switch, right? Oh, hey, it's not working. I want to get to milestone one and I'll switch. But today I'm learning. And what I'm also trying to do is kind of teach as like, hey, how do I figure this out? What am I going to do? Going through the process, I think is going to help you or others. Sometimes things just don't work like you expect them to do. So then what do? No, don't just switch to Apache Kafka. Not today. Not today. Maybe we'll jump to Apache Kafka later. But we're going to use this and we're going to get it up and running. And we're going to figure out why it's not working as we expect it. We can see that there's some issues and it's probably in the Pulsar project that we need to do. Yeah. Yeah. Dive deeper. Let's figure out what's going on. It says, what's your whiteboard? Been using something. I use Excalidraw. It connects directly to my repo. I just have a branch named diagrams for a project, but it has one bug with Opera that causes my mouse to draw an unbelievable line. Interesting. I use Excalidraw, and I don't really save these things into my repositories, but I do save them because someday it'll be fun to like go and be able to search these notes, just like I search through transcription, right? And be able to kind of analyze, hey, what do we talk about? Again, adding more context to the show, right? Right, that would be another layer of context, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Like, so a lot of the things that I'm just drawing, right? The words here, being able to pull that out and parse that out. I do basically one of these every day, and I just kind of keep my chat so I can always have something to go reference. But yeah, let's get some more of this stuff out. Let's get more of this stuff available so we can get value from it instead of repeating ourselves. So yeah, I get it. Yeah, let's figure it out. Let's figure it out together. Let's dig in. Good morning, everybody. So we are not going to bounce. I'm just going back, make sure I get this. So I simulcast from OBS. That means I have 3 degrees. StreamYard would knock that down to 1. Yes. So my output goes to StreamYard, and then StreamYard handles the fan out. So outbound from my house is just the one 1080p stream. And then StreamYard handles the rest. But Restream is another platform that does that. Restream.io. Oh, and that's actually, I'm using both because I use Restream to send things over to Kick, as you can see here. So I actually use Restream as well for that RTMP connection. I couldn't get StreamYard to do direct RTMP over to Kick. So I put Restream in the middle. Don't ask me why. But yeah, that's what I did. That was the milestone that worked. That's how I got it to work. So that's what I do. So let's figure out. We found some issues here. So we think there's a fix. That's June. Local patch. It can be cherry picked to 301. Okay. Thomas running into a similar problem using Pulsar client. JDK 17. Let's keep going. It should be included in 3.1.0. Hey, we're here. Org, Apache Pulsar, Pulsar client original, running into the same issue. The patch only modifies scripts to add opens for related modules. If you're doing packaging by yourself, you may add opens by yourself. If not sure if we can add opens to the jars delivered. Yeah, this seems Interesting. Let's go back here and let's see if we get anything. I'm going to switch back because switching to Java 17 didn't help. Let's see. I like Excalidraw, LinkedIn, Live, RTMP, resets every day. Terrible. StreamYard fixing that is nice too. Yes. I just add LinkedIn and go. Simon, been using Draw lately. Just one bug that caused me to throw monitors in the stream. The line thing, I haven't encountered that one myself. All right. I'm going to switch back here because, yeah, switching to Java 17 didn't help. So let's do that. Let's roll that back and let's switch our project version back because switching to Java 17 didn't help us at all. So, yes, let's do that. And reindex. And let's take a look. We have the actuator, starter, micrometer. Let's look at our libraries. I wanted to see the org Apache. I wanted to see which version we're using. Pulsar client 3.1.1. So what they're talking about here, they were talking about 3.1.0. So we're on to the latest and greatest. So I assume that some of the stuff has been seen and addressed, but this also could just be in the way that I'm starting things up. But we're going to continue to figure it out. I want to just be able to run this and get a Zipkin container and get a Pulsar container up and running. But let's ignore this for now. Let's come back and take a look. We're here. I think that this is something that I can fix. I'm assuming I can use Java 21 since Java 20 is not around anymore. And let's actually just take a note here because we don't want to just like ignore it. Docs. If anybody wants to like pull that and do that PR, but I think all right. So we'll take a look at that. Spring Framework, we're good. Apache Pulsar Java Client 3.1.2. So this is interesting, right? Because here we've grabbed Spring for Apache Pulsar 1.0.2 requires Apache Pulsar Java Client 3.1.2, but we're getting 3.1.1. Did I do something wrong? Let me catch up here. Hey, I'll happily show you. Yes, if you swim on my stream later, or ask on Discord, I can do a screen to GIF, please. Perfect. And I can do that shout out. All right, this is Duct Tape DevOps. I've been having fun watching content from Duct Tape DevOps, so I did a shout out. I highly recommend. It's been good conversation too, like not just great content, but good conversation. Very engaging. Good show to watch. I do use GitHub Copilot, and I think I did the renew, and I think it should show up. But yeah, let's all meet over at Duct Tape DevOps stream later on. So one long-term goal I love for you, I plan to build it too, would be putting an LLM in chat via Spring AI so we can, yes, absolutely. That's what I was. That's what I was referring to. Is like the whole like having a bot that has LLM, and you can imagine it would be nice if the bot, right, had the context of what's happened in the chat. That'd be cool too. So yeah. Thanks so much. Love having some more industry professionals on stream to show these game devs how to do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Java Grunt Jr. Is home today, the bad weather and all that kind of stuff. But I think Java Grunt Jr. is going to be doing some game dev, but with libgdx, which is, yeah, that's a framework. Yeah, it's a framework for building games. I've used it before. It's pretty cool. And I think for somebody new, I think we can actually learn quite a bit by building something that way. So we'll see. We'll see if I can keep them up. Yeah. Here, streaming, not sure of the age requirements. Yeah, there's some stuff around the age requirements, but he'll have his own stream. That's the idea. And he's going to do Java dev. So I'll have to figure out all the nicks and crannies. Is it Twitch? You have to be 13 plus to stream, but can't he stream with me? Maybe I should probably look into that. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. So yeah, but we'll figure that out soon. So stay tuned for that. What else do we need here? What else do we need? We're doing this. We're stuck. We are concerned. Should we be concerned that this doc is saying Apache Pulsar Java Client 3.1.2 or above, and we're getting 3.1.1? Let's go back and look at this here. What was closed? Reactive Client. .330 snapshot compatibility check, update dependencies, update to Pulsar 3.1.2. Oh, you know what? I'll bet that this, so here's what happened. Because, here, we grab this, we're grabbing 3.2.1. Well, 3.2.1 came out before this release, right? So 3.2.2 is coming out on Thursday, and I'll bet you that's when we get 1.0.2 pulled in. I'll bet you that's part of the problem. So what I could do is I could do this. Let's see. Let's go over here and let's change from 3.2.1 to 3.3.0-snapshot. Let's see what that does for us. 3.3.0 snapshot. In order to get the latest version, right? In order to get this Spring Pulsar 1.0.2, which just came out, that's the whole point. In order to get that, I got to be on a version that's pulling that in. So let's see what happens. So I shouldn't be concerned here because I probably wasn't pulling in the right version because of the parent POM. So here, hello. Oh, I have to add one more piece. When you do that, you have to add these repositories and plugin repositories. Please hold. Go get that stuff. Yeah, Java Grunt's not quite a teen yet, but he knows his stuff. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Unresolved plugin. Really? Let's try that again. get our indexing, get up to the latest and greatest. This is what we've seen before. Now we just don't want that nitty issue. Oh, that's the same thing. I'm guessing. Yep. Cannot get DNS TTL settings. But now we can see that we're on the latest and greatest. We're using the latest versions instead of the 3.1.1 stuff. Hey, now we're using 3.1.2. Okay, so we haven't fixed the issue, but now we're actually we're in sync with the docs because up here we should have Spring Framework, boot, Pulsar. Oh, 3.3.0 snapshot. All right, there we go. That's what we care about. Okay. So we should match here. We should match our docs. This all makes sense. Let's build a project. What's the project? Which project? This project. Oh no, that we don't need to do that. I want the quick start. Okay, we're doing this. Yeah. I don't expect this to work. I don't expect this to work because I don't expect adding that code is going to change this DNS TTL setting. Let's go over here and let's throw that in. Right, I expected that to paste in properly, but I don't expect this to work because adding that code should not fix this DNS TTL settings. But let's rerun this. I already have all the containers pulled down. Interesting. It did other things. So it started a producer. It did this thing. Here's the client. So this is interesting. It did it. So it ran and it said, hey, we got it. We got that message. So what that tells me is like, hey, why are you screaming about this? This really didn't affect us. But I still don't like that. So, like I said, this shouldn't have fixed this. It didn't fix it. This is just a warn. Hey, thanks for coming in. Go get that workout on. And yeah, we'll see you on your stream later today. Keep up the good work. So we're only an hour in. We're just getting started. We're figuring this out. We're figuring out why this is happening. We saw an issue. around this where we think that we know the fix is to add this to the JVM args. I don't really like that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's do that. Yeah, like just hang out and lurk. There's no obligation. I just want to be here. Yeah. Gather API. Let's go. Hang out. Yeah, if you hear me getting off track, yeah, I'm gonna make mistakes, but I'm glad that you're just hanging out too. So lurk, have fun, and I probably need to remind myself, right? I need to make lurk. I don't know what you're supposed to do with that, but we'll figure it out. I need to start working on a bot. But the bot, yeah, it needs to work. We'll get there. We'll get there. So this worked. I'm kind of annoyed by this. But the thing is it still worked. So if we take a look here, here's the client config. Here's the consumer. So that's interesting, right? It works. Let's go back. Null payloads and log compaction of Tombstone records. This worked. Pulsar protocol. It says when you use the Spring Boot Starter, you'll get the Pulsar client auto-configured. By default, the application tries to connect to a local Pulsar instance. Here, Pulsar 6650. This can be adjusted by setting the Spring Pulsar client service URL. All right, so this, I believe, would be getting set automatically because we're using service connection. Pulsar latest, we can see that it stands up. Now, right before we got to this message, we get this. So standalone, okay. That's cool. Maps to the container port 8080, fantastic. Internet address cache policy. DNS resolver. So we're seeing this. I don't know that that's a real issue. I'm just trying to wrap my head around why. Why is that being thrown? I don't want to have to install Pulsar locally. I want to be able to use it with test containers, so I can continue to do my development. My development's working. It's just this one thing is bothering me, and it probably shouldn't. But this one thing is bothering me. Cannot get DNS TTL settings. Let me do this. Let's just see if we can edit this. Run config. modify the run config here. Do this. Add VM options. VM options are here. Let's see if that works. For build and run test application. Let's see if that makes a change. And it did. Okay, well, that's interesting. And I'll take that as the fix. So let's do this. Let's do it this way. Where we added our README. Yeah, this is just prerequisites. I think that we now know that we can use Java 21. So we can go and do this fix. I should probably just do that over here. It needs Java 17. Quick start should be NW Spring Boot test run. Let's do it that way. -NW Spring Boot test run. Do I get the same error if I don't pass in the okay? So that gives me that same issue. But if I do the, how do I pass in MVNW Maven in VM options? I don't know off the top of my head. JVM args. -D, JVM args, except this is not this. This is this. Reader build, run, edit config. For test application, we want this. Hello. So, didn't really solve anything, but we ran into an issue. It bothered me. We went and looked at the docs, and we found a solution. So now let's run this. And let's see if that works a little bit better. Because I don't want anybody coming in doing the same thing. I want to make sure that they see that. But how would I make that? Oh, that didn't fix it. -D. So that worked inside of the IDE. It did not work out here. Am I doing it right? Oh, Maven Ops. So instead, it should be like this. Oh, I can do it this way. So this way I'm setting that value first and then running it. Try it that way. So Dan asked, do you have any Docker containers running? So when I start this, what I'm doing is I'm using the test container support. This still did not work. Isn't that what I want? I don't think I need the export, do I? I shouldn't. Running it again. But the question, do you have any Docker containers running? This should start up those Docker containers. So once this gets up, let's show you what that looks like. Docker PS. So yes, you can see that I'm running Pulsar. I'm running Zipkin. Wait, do I have more than one of these things running? No. Why do I have two of these running? Oh, because I have another one running here, that's why. So let me close that. Docker PS. Okay, so I just have K3D running. Okay. This should run. I shouldn't need this. But that's still, so Pulsar docs say run Pulsar in Docker. Yeah, so I am running it in Docker. But why I want this? I want something like that passed in. Let's go. Let's try it. Interesting. Like, this is the right way to do it. I also have my ENVRC. But that should be it. Add opens. unnamed. That did not do it. That did not fix our DNSTTL issue. Yeah, when we do it here, let's just double check. Let's make sure that we're doing this right. When I do it from here, I modified the run settings for this. I added that. That's all I should have needed to do. Let's make sure it still works. Yeah, see, we don't get that DNSTTL issue when we do it there. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? No, it's not about the compiler plugin. When I'm using Maven Spring Boot, I'm using the Maven Spring Boot plugin. Perhaps I need to do something here. Because I'm not running java-jar blah. Running yeah, I have to do this. There we go. So I won't need to do this because I'm going to add these JVM args here. Except it's not this, it is this. Now this will work both here because I did the edit the run configurations, and it'll run when I'm doing the Spring Boot run. Oops. Yeah, build plugin execution build info. Yes. Same. All right, so that works here. I don't see the error. I stop, close, and now over here for my quick start, MBNW Spring Boot test run. It's going to take these JVM arguments, and we should be good to go. Perfect. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. All right. I can live with that change. I can live with this change. So now my doc says, hey, here's how you do it. We're good. Now let's keep going. Let's see what else we can do here. Not here. We've gotten over the hump. We have a standalone service. We're running. We're good with this. We don't need that. Let's keep on going. Yeah, let's do the observability. Pulsar template, Pulsar listener are instrumented with micrometer observations API. When a micrometer observation registry bean is provided, send and receive operations are traced and timed. Okay. The default implementation adds the bean.name tag for template observations and listener ID. So if this is running, do I expect? No, I don't expect it yet because I haven't turned on logging. So let's go take a look at what we've done. GitHub. Let's do the Java. Let's go see what we got in here. I should have moved the service. GitHub.com, Deshaun. There's the Twitch. Where did I put it? There it is. So all I want to say is, hey, let's have that available. Management endpoints info enabled true. Management endpoints web exposure include health, metrics, Prometheus, loggers, and info. All right. So now if I stop this, we're going to restart it. Actually, we're not going to do it that way anymore. We're going to do it here. Up and running. Fantastic. Received our message, but now I want to see that localhost 8080 metrics Prometheus. Oh, actuator. Wait. Localhost 8080. Oh, you didn't start on 8080. That's why. Why didn't you start on 8080? Oh, there's nothing there. I added the actuator, didn't I? I added the actuator. But there's no container listening. There's no container listening to port 8080. Okay, so let's add web. Pulsar. What am I missing? Spring Boot Starter Web. Spring Boot Starter Web. That should be okay. Sorry about that. That was just me not paying attention to what I was auto-completing. Okay, we're good. And let's go back to our run. And what I wanted to see is, whoops. I want to see my metrics. Which will be easy enough, right? Okay, we saw that. And now we should have some localhost health. We're good. Metrics. Fantastic. Is it metrics Prometheus? Or is it just Prometheus? Okay, and Pulsar. Listener active seconds. Seconds max. Ready time. Here we go. Seconds sum. Seconds max gauge. I'm just looking through here. What do we see? I want to see like a number of metric or number of. Here's the application start. Seconds count, active seconds. Some of these seem like they're repeated. Let's keep going. Here we go. Disk free, no. I don't care about that at the moment. Oh, okay. I kind of wanted to see like a Spring Pulsar template seconds count. I want to see like a messages count. Oh, I had listener. Okay. I'm not seeing what I wanted to see, but that's okay. We will dig into that further. We're just playing. All right. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. That I actually just have metrics, and I'm okay with that. So now the last thing is tracing. I should be able to see Zipkin. Tucker PS. Zipkin is on 5157312. Five, 7312. One of the things that I want to do is Spring Boot Zipkin sample rate. I'm going to change this to 100%. Tracing with Zipkin. I don't want your stuff. No. So it changed. It changed. Actually, I should probably be able to figure it out. If I just do, I go to here. I go to spring dot Zipkin. I want, but that's an old property. I think that's an old property. What? Cannot resolve spring cloud Zipkin enabled because the property just changed, right? It's not spring cloud anymore. Sorry, I don't like your stuff. It's outdated, and I always get confused. Micrometer tracing. So is it? I want to be able to do it, but just like tell me what the property is. That's what I was hoping for. Like I know what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to change the sampling. Yeah, I just want to find that property. Let's go. You know what? Let's go over here. Let's go look at my favorite project. And let's look at these properties. Here we go. There you go. That's what I want. Right? That's the one I'm looking for, isn't it? The sampling probability. I think that's it. Let's see. That feels right. That feels right. So that I want every sample thrown to Zipkin. That's all I did. Let's stop. Let's rerun that. Change the property. So hopefully every sample shows in. Management, look at you. You did it. Yeah, thank you for pulling that up. That is the property. I believe that's the property. So let's see. But Dan, thank you so much for helping contribute. So now what I expect is that I should have the trace for those two. So let's go here. Let's do this real quick. 57513. There we go. And I see the actual trace. Fantastic. All right, so that's a property for, at least when I'm doing development, that's a property that I should be using more often. So far so good. We did it. We can trace all the way down to that pulsar. We have pulsar up and running. We figured out how to get rid of the warning about the DNS TTL. And yeah, let's just keep on going. Let's see, what else might we want to learn? Let's close all this. Thank you again, Jonathan. Close, 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 close. I have an issue to fix. Let's close this, close this. We were just looking at properties there. Don't need that. Let's keep on going. Okay, Spring Cloud Stream binder for Apache. Spring for Apache Pulsar provides a binder for Spring Cloud Stream that we can use to build event-driven microservices using PubSub paradigms. In this section, we will go through the basic details of this binder. We need to include the following dependency on your application to use the Apache Pulsar binder for Spring Cloud Stream. The Spring Cloud Stream binder for Apache Pulsar allows the applications to focus on business logic rather than dealing with the lower level details of managing and maintaining Pulsar. Okay, thanks. The binder takes care of all these details for the application developer. Spring Cloud Stream brings a powerful programming model based on Spring Cloud Function that allows the app developer to write complex event-driven applications using a functional style. Applications start from middleware neutral manner and then map Pulsar topics as destinations in Spring Cloud Stream through Spring Boot configuration properties. Spring Cloud Stream is built on top of Spring Boot, and when writing an event-driven microservice using Spring Cloud Stream, you are essentially writing a boot application. Here's a straightforward Spring Cloud Stream application. Log main time supplier, current time in millis, time processor, enhanced time, new enhanced time, 5150, processor, this to this, the time to enhanced time, return enhanced time, and then the consumer. It's a full-blown Spring Boot application, deserves to explanation. However, on a first pass, you can see that this is just a plain Java and a few Spring Boot annotations. We have three bean methods here: a function supplier, a function, and finally a function consumer. The supplier produces current time in milliseconds. The function takes that time and then enhances it by adding some random data, and then the consumer logs the enhanced time. We omitted all the imports for brevity, but nothing Spring Cloud Stream specific in the entire application. How does it become a Spring Cloud Stream application that interacts with Apache Pulsar? You must include the above dependency for the binder. Once that dependency is added, you must provide the following config properties. Okay. So with this, the above Spring Boot application has become an end-to-end event-driven application based on Spring Cloud Stream. Because we have the Pulsar binder on the class path, the application interacts with Apache Pulsar. If there's only one function in the application, we don't need to tell Spring Cloud Stream to activate the function for execution, since it does that by default. If there's more than one such function in the application, as in our example, we need to instruct Spring Cloud Stream which functions we'd like to activate. I apologize for yawning like that. I haven't had caffeine yet today. So Do we need to annotate methods with some annotations like @span to make calls visible in Zipkin, or is it all done by Spring? The instrumentation now is going to happen automatically because I've included Zipkin and the distributed tracing. Yeah, I'm going to get those set up automatically. All that instrumentation happens automatically. So, but that's a good question. I don't want to skip over that. So here's what's happening. Boop, boop. This is our application. Inside of that application, we made a call out to Pulsar. We started at Pulsar as a test container. Let's do it this way. Oops. Cool. We did that. But we also had it start up one for Pulsar. And what happened was our application, it created a message on a Pulsar, and then it listened for that. But because we had this, because we had distributed tracing here in Zipkin, it automatically said, hey, I'm going to instrument those calls, and it sent it out to Zipkin. So I didn't have to do anything extra, which is kind of slick. But that's a good question. Hopefully that makes sense. Because I have those dependencies, that's auto-configured to now do every time I make a call, I will get that trace. And it's calling out to Pulsar because we just added that little bit. I'm just thinking what I should do. What should I do next? It works. Let's just keep on reading. So if I were to deploy this, good morning, Christopher. Good morning. Can you show the test container again? This part? So in my test application, because I set it up with the initializer, this is what I got out of the box. I have this service connection for Pulsar, and I have a service connection for Zipkin. So when I start up this test application, it says, hey, I'm using this test configuration. I want you to set up this container and this container, and then run the main class. So instead of having a Docker compose, I'm just saying, hey, just go stand it up and configure it for me automatically. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that's what you're looking at. So in order to get this code, I just went to start.turnet.io. Right. Let's do that one more time. Maven. Add this, but I added Pulsar. And it'll work for whatever. If I add Postgres, I'll get Postgres. And as long as I add test containers, then my executable, and sorry, I can't even do it as a demo. I have to add the actuator. But now if we go and look at our source, our test demo application, we'll see that because I added Postgres, now I get a Postgres connection. and Pulsar. Oh, why didn't I get the Zipkin? Because I didn't add Zipkin. I think I can go just like this. And I'll get the same thing. Boop. Down here, test demo. No, I had to add Zipkin. Close. Zipkin. Boop. There we go. Hello. There you go. I got Postgres, Pulsar, and Zipkin. So those all start up. Right. I need a setting that saves automatically adding actuator. Imagine rolling a Swing app without it, right? Like that's exactly the way it should be. So the example would be like here, I have this initializer plus that is going to do exactly what you want. Like, hey, there's these things that I want to have in my application. I don't have one here that says actuator, and it should be. It should just automatically. I should have something here that says actuator. And now that I think about it, I should have actuator. Yeah, I should have actuator in there as like a path to production thing. It should be there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Lots of little things. These little automations are the difference maker in your path to production. And I'm doing this like the hard way. There's definitely easier ways to do this. But here's where I'm gonna wrap it up here because I want to show off some other cool things and yeah, I'm coming back from vacation. So here's what we'll do now. Let me just quick check my notes here. Let's see. We said hi to mom and dad. We did some one-on-one stuff with Pulsar. We worked through the issue with the DNSCTL. We added that to our config. But let's like take this just one more step. I want to put this into a repository. So let's do that real quick. Even though we didn't do much, we have a working example. But we're always going to try to like pull these things into a bigger project, because it's one thing to just do like the 101 and hey, we showed it working. We created a message and we pulled that message. But I want to, yeah, just baby steps. We'll pull these things together. But I also want to keep it live. Not here. So I want to pull these things together and show how they really work and how they really connect. So let's go and make a new, I didn't really like do anything. I don't have a use for it yet, but we're still going to make a new one. com.java.grunt.service.pulsar, I think is good enough. Of course it's public. We don't need to add a readme because we added one. We will do, no, we won't do that. We'll just do it this way. Create repository. All right, and we did that. We did this. We're gonna do our commit. We'll have to do these things. Here, get status, get add dot, status, get commit. Refactor, add pub sub example. Okay, so that's committed. Now we do these steps. Yes, get remote, add, do, and push origin main. So now that's out there. So now here's the code that we just built live. Here's the example. We did some stuff. Oh, we got to go make some changes to our README. We need to replace this with Java grunt com. And we need to replace this repository name with com.javagrunt.service.pulsar. Done. Hello. All right, so that should all work. Spring Pulsar, good. Quick start works because we modified all right, that's a change. What was the other thing I want to do? Oh, I wanted to do the Spring Health Assessment Report. So let's stop this. Let's close it. We are using 3.3.0. So like this is all unsupported stuff, but I still want to do it anyways. So let's go over here. Let me find my link. Hello. I'm looking for the Spring Health Assessment. Here it is. Spring Health Assessment. We're just going to follow these steps, get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm using Maven on Apple, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go over to my terminal. I'm going to run this command that spits out only the org Spring Framework packages. It's going to spit out to Spring dependencies.txt. Now, I'm interested in this because I'm using a snapshot. So let's choose that file. It's in Sean Fun. Hello. Java.com. It's in this one. Pulsar. Spring dependencies. Done. And then I'm going to put in my name. It's Deshaun Carter. Yes. Spring Developer Advocate. I work for Broadcom. My business email. My country is United States, and my state is Missouri. And yeah, give me that report. Cool. So unsupported. So over half of my libraries are unsupported. I think that's because of using snapshots. So here we are. I'm getting help. Yeah, snapshots are unsupported. Okay, that makes perfect sense. But the thing is, if you're coming in and you're just checking out this project, isn't this a nice little addition to you get a readout as to this isn't supported. Like, so you can take this and use it, but this is OSS stuff. It's snapshots. This code might change. It's unsupported. So I just want to, save this. Save it as PDF. Yeah, Spring Health Assessment. Done. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my repository. To here. So now I'm just going to add those files. Git add dot add char. So now in this project, there's also this Spring Health Assessment that gives you a full kind of rundown as to what's going on. Yes, we've got a lot of great feedback on this, but I just think that's cool. I don't need those. I think that that's cool to have that included. And there's more. There's more. So does it say anything about Pulsar issue? No, good question. No, it does not. So, and I think we worked through that Pulsar issue with that one property that we got just as a local running. It's because of the local host piece, the asking local host via DNS for its TTL. I think if we used any external URL, like I don't think that'll be an issue, but we'll get there. So this is going back up a level now. What do we expect? Here's what I'm thinking is I have these things that are on the menu, things that I trust, I build, and I'm just looking at different stuff. Like, what are the kinds of things that I want to support? For me, I'd like to support anything that's coming out of startupspring.io. Hi. What is that? Oh, thank you. But that's also my little alarm clock. I got to get wrapped up. But I'm looking at all of these things that we want to put on the menu. Let's add Pulsar. New directory. As things that are easy to consume. I'm running the Docker instance. If I can run that locally, I could run something similar on Kubernetes. Remember, I like to run Kubernetes. And we'll deploy this. We'll get Pulsar up and running. We'll use a Helm chart probably to get Pulsar up and running so we can have it available. What else will we do? Pulsar, because of the streaming piece, let's go back. We drew this stuff. Pulsar might be that thing that allows me to connect a live transcription and include chat context. I don't know what that's going to look like. I'm definitely going to lean into what Security Live has done. But yeah, that's it. We took Spring Pulsar for a spin. It came out yesterday. We took it for a spin. We realized, hey, we had to use a snapshot version to get this version because that new version is not going to come out. It's probably not going to be available until here. But yeah, now that just wraps up all those versions. So on the 18th, we could definitely come back and update our palms and probably be good to go. We wouldn't have to have the milestone repositories. But also today, Spring Authorization Server comes out. Spring Security looks like it missed release. Spring Vault is something that's been talked about on the show quite a bit. Maybe I ought to stand that up too. So we have lots of fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff to work on. So I'm going to wrap it up for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, let's look at Spring Vault maybe, and yeah, we kind of touched on these. Tomorrow, let's take a look at Spring Vault and see where it takes us. But that's it. I think that'll be good for now. So thanks for coming. I hope to see you around tomorrow. Yeah. All right. Take care. See ya.